Everyday cuts, okay? This is something that we're gonna do 98% of our practices, fall, spring, everything. The only 2%, the time that we don't do it, would be if it's a really shortened practice, if there was a big emphasis on something that we saw coming out of a game or coming out of the previous practice. We won't do that, we'll spend a little more time, but I want this done every day possible. Like I said, it's the 4 most common cuts I found in the breakdown of film, okay? We want to get proficient at them, we want to play fast with them, and I want the guys to understand what they're trying to accomplish with these cuts. Like I said, the efficiency is the primary focus of repping these every day. Big emphasis on keeping vertical afterwards, kind of playing physical, playing fast, playing downhill. We want to make these cuts as vertical as possible. I don't want east-west runners, I want north-south runners. And then pad level, we'll try to emphasize that in as much as possible as well. Obviously, to finish runs, to run through arm tackles, you need to be lower than the man that's trying to tackle you. So we'll emphasize that with bags, shields, gates. You'll see in some film here, we use a lot of gates to emphasize this. We want to show the defender the top of our shoulder pads. That's something that I'm screaming out on the field at all times. Show them the top of your pads. We want that nice forward lean as we run, okay, so you can run through those arm tackles and get yourself the extra 5 yards. And like we said earlier, ball security. Always preaching that as they go through this drill, tip up, high and tight, no separation, all those buzzwords that you're able to use. So these guys know quickly and understand if my tip of the ball is down and I say tip up, they got to get that thing back high and tight. So just a little layout here before we get into film of the drill. Okay, our everyday cuts, it's going to be 30 yards long. They're going to be cones are 5 yards apart with a 2 yards width. You'll see on the practice tape that we actually use the sideline for this. The sideline works great, the big white stripe going down there. And we'll put cones every 5 yards, 2 yards apart, 30 yards. I want a nice, it's a warm-up drill as well as a nice long sprinting drill. The first cut we'll talk about is the pressure step. This is the most common used cut that we have in our offense. The purpose of this cut is to simulate setting up a cutback on the inside zone track. You want to press the front side of the zone, obviously, stick your foot in the ground and come back. A big teaching emphasis is staying as vertical as possible coming out of that cut. We want to gain yards, not gain width. When we set that up, we want to put our knee over our toes, shoulder over our knee, so we're in a nice line, nice power angles. We can create a burst coming out of that cut. Like I said, very fluid cut, shouldn't be smooth, and it's the most common cut that we found in our offense. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some film of that. All right, this is the pressure step that we talked about. We'll be taking a look at here. As you can see, I have the drill set up on the out of bounds line here, or the sidelines, thick white line. Perfect place to run this drill. It's right about 2 yards in width. You can see the cones every 5 yards. So as the running back works, he's going to be going diagonally each cone to each cone using this pressure step. Like I said, should be a fairly smooth movement, nice sharp angles. You're looking to get vertical out of each cut. You can see he's going to try to stick that foot as close to that cone as possible. Break off in a straight line to the next cone. There he goes. We'll start using the gates here. Okay, I like to see, these guys are still learning a little bit, but you can see him overemphasize that duck. I don't want to see that as much. We'd like to see more forward lean. Okay, he's a small guy anyways, he shouldn't have to duck that much. A little more forward lean showing on the top of the shoulder pads, and coming out of that cut with a nice low angle, not popping up and rising from each gate to gate. Should be staying about the same pace. Obviously these gates are a little low, so they are going to have to drop, but make sure the eyes stay up and they can see where they're running. So you can see him walking from the gate to gate here. Not bad. Pad level doesn't change much from gate to gate. He's got to overemphasize a little bit to get underneath. He's changing directions with still a nice vertical push.